Hi, it's Cindy Funes with Garden Revelry, and I thought today, it's January, and I thought today would be a great day to just kind of walk around and revisit some of the containers that we planted in the fall. So let's start here. This is a container that we underplanted with bulbs. I don't know if you saw that video, and we've got this vaccinium, which is getting this beautiful kind of bronze new growth. We've got the hellebore that is got flowers that are just starting to bud up. I've got the pansies are blooming. I'm actually going to deadhead that. And the Lonicera, which when we planted in the fall was green and has now colored up, which it does in cool weather, which is one of the reasons I love it. See, this is green, but then the older growth it's this deep wine burgundy color. But everything's still looking great. We've got the ferns that have grown in, the autumn ferns, the heuchera is a little flat, but hopefully it'll kind of pop up. But I would say overall, I would give this an A. I mean, it still looks great. It's January. We haven't had a lot of super cold weather, but we've had some, mid 30 temps, and everything is still looking really good. Okay, so here we are at the next plant, and I should preface this with, these are all planters that we did at my own residence. So, but look at this. This is crazy. Again, it's been fairly mild, but these are begonias that I never took out. Of course, they're not blooming. We've got this Apodistra variegata, which is fantastic. It's adding some brightness. The Fatsia is happy. Anyways, again, I think for this time of year, January, it's looking pretty good. I always do a little deadheading or working one. There's some horsetail in the back that you can't see that I'm just... Okay, as far as giving this a grade, hi Tucker. Tucker, what do you think? I think I'm going to give this an A as well. Just a different type of planting. Lots of foliage, no color, but looking lush and fantastic. It's partly doing so well because it's under an eave, so it's a little protected, which is great. Okay, so here we are at the front porch, and I still have my winter lights in because it's still dark. It's January, and I like to leave the lights in until probably February, honestly, mid-February, just because it adds some brightness. These two are actually looking pretty well, and they've grown in. I don't know if you remember in the fall, things were, believe it or not, actually smaller. So we've got the pansy. I'm going to deadhead this as well because it's fading. You've got your heuchera, your asplenium, scopulendrum, which is the hart's tongue fern. We've got some Bergenia. The Lonicera is going crazy, but everything's looking pretty good here. The phormium is floppy, and it has been since I planted it. I'm not loving that. I have staked it up. I don't know what's going on with it, but I'd like it if it was more upright. But overall, again, looking pretty good. If the goal is to plant in October and have a container that can take you through winter and early spring, then I would give this an A. From a design standpoint or from a plant standpoint, this phormium is bugging me, so I'm going to give myself a B or B+. Here we are. This is kind of as you walk up the steps to my front door. You've seen this container a lot. I designed it for the Monrovia Challenge, I think 2 years ago now, over 2 years ago. I swapped out the Goshiki this year and put in another Goshiki, but the Goshiki that had been here had been 2 years, and it had grown out of scale with the container, so I moved that into the landscape. But overall, the elements are the same. So I love this container. I think it has good texture. Again, Lonicera crassifolia, one of my favorites, this kind of green and burnt and how it turns, hi Bus, it colors up. The heuchera obsidian looks great. We've got the pansy, and then you've got this Kaluna that offers this kind of bronzy foliage. I don't know. I love this planting. The Lonicera, I just love Bagason's Gold, and it also colors up, picking up some of the burgundies in the planting. So again, I'm a little annoyed with the phormium. It's floppy, but I realize as we're going through this that I divided the phormium in the fall, and it probably just didn't have a strong enough root system when I planted it, which was late October, early November. So, and it hasn't had any growth being winter. So it's probably just doesn't have enough base to kind of make it stand up. But hopefully as the spring comes, the roots will grow and it will add a little more fortitude. So anyways, I love this container. I love the texture of it. I love the scale of everything. So I'm going to give this an A. So I'm just going to pat myself on the back here. Again, we're lucky we're in the Pacific Northwest regions, 8 to 9A, I guess now. So we can plant material in the fall and have it survive through the winter if we make good plant selections. And in this case, the plant selections have shown that they're great. They're looking great, and it's the end of January. So we'll revisit them again in early spring when the bulbs start coming up, because all of these containers were underplanted with spring blooming bulbs.